Welcome to the CoComply platform. Vamsi and I are looking forward to sharing with you the first data certification-driven platform that we're leveraging to really drive regulation, governance, and compliance for banks at scale. The difference of what we do within CoComply is we certify the data, not just manage it, which is a key differentiator in the markets that we operate. What you're looking at here is the intelligence dashboard. So imagine logging in the first of the morning, sipping on your coffee, and you're wanting to see key statistics as it relates to the critical assets under management within a platform. You're able to see ownership assignments to those critical assets, data quality, which is ensuring accuracy, completeness of the information that we're managing, overall privacy, and lineage. And the core aspect of our platform is the certification overview there in the center. So as you're tracking and managing your critical assets within your organization, you're able to see the overall certification status. This is a badge of honor. It means high trust to your internal consumers of the data, and then it also drives a very rich experience for your customers on the receiving end. And then if you have a data marketplace, we're able to show the certification status by marketplace as well. We've even created some workflow shortcuts for the non-technical users. So if you want to run a full certification scan across your critical assets, or perhaps you're getting ready for an audit and you want to do an evidence pack if you're an auditor or a regulator, that gives you the ability with a click of a button to be able to execute technical workflows within the back end of our system. Also, if you're preparing for an examination or audit, we give you an audit pack, readiness pack, showing you 89% completeness rates, as well as the controls being applied to that, and then any policies or exceptions that we'd have against standards and policies. Vamsi, really quick, let's flip over to the regulatory intelligence. So this is where really the brains behind our entire platform live. We're connected into the back end of 20 plus regulators and then harvesting a ton of critical information as it relates to the regulatory guidelines. This is just a sampling or flavor of those. It may look like a GRC type of experience, but what we're driving here is banking regulation as it relates to the OCC, CFPB, FFIEC, the Fed, FDIC. It's all of those blind spots that banks spend millions of dollars in trying to conform to every single year, but no one's focusing on driving automation at scale like we are. We then take those regulations and we start to drive them through a critical inventory. So if you want, go through the asset inventory really quick, Bumsy. This is where you start to see a registry of all of your critical assets in one place. We're able to then seed this with the critical reports, processes, critical data elements, and products that matter most to the organization. So this giving you one unified comprehensive view. We then overlay those regulations, if you click on a 10Q report, into to-do list. So this is a actionable workflow that gives you step-by-step guidance on the things that you need to complete to enable certification. This is a great starting point for our less mature banks, but for our more mature banks that are looking for full automation, scalability, this is where our agentic workforce comes into play. Vamsi, over to you to walk the team through our agent layer.
Thank you much, Patrick. And here, YC, is where our agent management system lives. We have a roster of agents that we've already designed based on the regulations and the compliance and the governance process and the workflows that we are very well aware of. We've created a roster of 20 plus agents that you can by default use in any organization, just like a plug and play. But what we also have is an ability to create your own custom agents and define what that agent would be like and what would perform. What we have on the top of these agentic layer is essentially an orchestration agent that would create and manage the workflows between how the agent and agentic operation should perform. In the orchestration, we have different workflow templates where an organization gets to standardize how certain processes and workflows are executed. For example, for a lot of these banks and organizations that we are targeting today, 10Q report is highly crucial. Everybody generates it. Everybody has to generate it every year. And, the workflows for them are hyper manual, as we observed. Come the agent force, what we can do is essentially create the overall workflow as an A10 experience or as a make experience. You can actually make a full-on enterprise data governance workflow within your organization. You start with a trigger, You start with whichever agents you would like to call within to that workflow, and you also get to add a human in the loop layer plus tag into like the different actions that get targeted based on what the agent and agent results are yielding. You get to send outputs and send those actions back into your tool stack, be that your other data governance tools such as Calibra Atlan Alations, or your, data warehouse tools such as Snowflake, Databricks, whatnot, or your, communication and notification tools, even just like Slack or email. We now get to like, lock this workflow up, save it, and, anybody in the organization will be able to like trigger this workflow. What we also have is all of our agents being highly interoperable, and them creating this evidence vault, which is, readily available for the organizations to submit common auditor or regulator exam. Over to you, Patrick.
Yeah, so what you can see here then is this is how we bring it all together. Same source that Vamsi was showing you on the previous screen, where we've essentially enacted our AI agents against a 10Q report, and now we want to bring it all together in an evidence pack. So think of this as your audit-ready certification status, or for your consumers being able to ensure trusted data as they are starting to leverage that. And so let's just click in really quick to the 10Q report, Vamsi, and show what's inside that evidence pack. So you'll see the data asset's been identified, all the controls mapped, evidence collected, and its pass versus fail rate. And so this is where we bring it all together to bring that high trust to an organization. But we don't stop there. I think the other thing too is we have the AI agent interface as well. So our chatbot gives you the ability to query on demand anything in our platform. And so whether that's external feeds that we're pulling in from the regulators, internal sources within the client's organization, or directly from the platform itself. So this is knowledge and information sharing on demand, and something that we think completely differentiates ourselves in the market. Hope you enjoyed the demo. Look forward to hearing your feedback and partnership.